Aloha, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Box Office Chat, where we see which movies landed in the top 5 and see how well they did. Number 5 was Bill and Ted Face the Music, making $292.7 thousand this weekend, which adds up to a $2 million total and a worldwide total of, well, $2 million. It is supposed to release internationally this weekend, so if it's still in the top 5 next week, we'll see how well it does there. And of course, it has been topping rental charts for the past couple of weeks since it was a day-and-day release both in theaters and at home on demand. So like I said last time, if you're a little disappointed by this number, don't fret. It's doing a lot better on video on demand, though I do wish we had some actual numbers so we could see how well it's doing, but you gotta work with what you got. Number 4 was the Broken Hearts Gallery, making $1.1 million on its opening weekend, so it's basically in line where I thought it would be. It would probably do better than Words on Bathroom Walls, but not by much. Though this is a low number, I think this will honestly be the most successful out of the 5 movies in theaters, because this movie only costs a reported number of $8 million. So if any of these movies has a chance to making bank during this pandemic thanks to theaters, it's probably gonna be this one. So we'll see. We'll definitely see how this movie turns out as weeks go by. Maybe word of mouth helps. It did do better than Words on Bathroom Walls, and there's nothing really coming out for a while, but guess we'll just have to see. Now let's move on to number 3, which is Unhinged, making $1.5 million this weekend, which adds up to about a $13 million domestic total and adds up to a worldwide total of 25 million. So it's about 20 million from making its initial budget back in the States and about 8 million from making it back internationally worldwide. I guess that's something. And I'm honestly kind of surprised it's held on for this long, because I thought it would have definitely died out with like all these other big movies pushing it out. But no, it's had strong legs. So I guess America really likes Russell Crowe or something. Number 2 is the New Mutants, which had a better hold than last week, making $2.1 million this weekend, adding to a $15 million domestic total, and basically totaling up to a nearly 30 million worldwide total. So it's doing better than a majority of these movies listed here, but the $80 million budget this movie costed to make is a lot to ask for, especially around these times. But Unhinged has been doing well, it's been holding strong, and this movie is still number 2, and it doesn't seem like anything major is going to stop it or stop people from going to see it. So we'll just have to see if it can keep going. Stranger things have happened before. And now let's finally talk about the number 1 movie of the weekend, which was again Tenet. Gee, what a surprise. Now this gives us a little better context of how much it made last week, because it fell a little under 30%, making 6.9 million this weekend. So there's most likely no way it made 20 million in just 3 days if 30% short is just 6 million, which is kind of disappointing, and I can see why Warner Brothers is a little disappointed and sort of not revealing day by day numbers. But still, it made 20 million in times like these, which is still kind of impressive, and worldwide it's already crossed the $200 million mark, which is immensely impressive in these times. And it does show that movies can still be somewhat successful in the foreign markets, but in the States, people are still worrisome, which is totally fine and totally understandable. So it's something we definitely have to keep an eye on. But still, this is a $200 million movie, and the fact that it hasn't really made as much as it should have stateside is really worrisome for Warner Brothers. But hey, at least it'll be the number 1 movie for quite some time, so they'll have that, especially since there's no competition, since Warner Brothers recently delayed Wonder Woman to Christmas Day, and STX pulled Greenland, which was supposed to come out this weekend, from the release schedule. So at least it will have that. It will have a long reign at the box office with number 1 until, I don't know, if War with Grandpa suddenly just annihilates this movie, I guess. This year is strange, but again, we'll just have to see how it turns. Maybe word of mouth will push it, but I don't know. And that is the top 5 domestic box office this weekend. And now, normally, this would be the part where I would discuss what's coming out next weekend and see if it would affect anything. But I am unaware at the moment if anything is coming out or if really nothing is coming out in theaters. I know Antebellum is supposed to come out this weekend, but that's more of a VOD release, and unlike Bill and Ted, were simultaneously released in theaters and at home on demand. This is just a video on demand release, so those numbers don't usually come out or are released with the box office numbers. So, again, unaware at the moment, but maybe someone will make a comment in the comment section below saying what is actually coming out. So if anything does come out next weekend and it does make enough money to make it to the top 5, I'll be sure to talk about it then and see how it affects the chart. Maybe it might defeat Tenet. Probably unlikely, but still, we'll see what happens next week at the box office charts. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Box Office Chat. What did you guys think of the results? Were you satisfied? Were you unsatisfied? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on all social media links right there. And until next time, guys, stay sharp.